Alright, welcome everyone, I'm Destroyer, and today we're doing something a little bit different, because you know guys, Windows 10 is coming out in around 4 days, right on the 29th, so I normally would put this, you know, like in a slideshow and everything, but I just wanted you guys just to see everything just from straight up, all the requirements, everything you sort of need to know before you actually install Windows 10, and you know what edition you'll get, etc. What languages can you get, and everything. So either you can just look at this and kind of get everything, or you can just listen to me and I'll just kind of read everything out, tell you the most important things, give you some additional advice as well, and stuff like that. So let's just go straight into it. So first of all, you actually have to check if you've actually reserved Windows 10. As I showed you guys earlier, you get the Windows 10 notification here, like this, and then it says please wait. It loads up, it checks your system, right, and then it says that my PC is compatible, I can view the report, etc. And these are the benefits you can see over here as well, right? And you reserve it right here through this icon down here. After you've done it, right? Okay, let's see what are the requirements, what you have to do before actually switching to Windows 10. And should you switch to Windows 10? You know. First of all, they actually announced that Windows 7 will be actually supported to 2020. So that is a big plus if you actually want to stay on Windows 7. The minuses of that are that, for example, DirectX 12 will not be compatible with Windows 7, so you can't let's say put in a few additional features in, for example, games, or during your games, if you're playing something, right, then you might not see, for example, a bit of glass, a bit of this, you know, some explosions or whatever, let's say, that requires DirectX 12 that's compatible with Windows 10. Second of all, for gamers only, Windows 10, there are a few exclusive games for Windows 10, so please do watch out for that, okay? So the people with Windows 7 won't actually be it won't be compatible, so you actually have to have Windows 10. Of course, there'll be different ways like cracking or things like that, but I do not actually advise that per se. Sorry guys, I'll just turn off Steam. And stuff like that. So that's just short on that. Windows 10 will actually stop being, let's say, updated fully. Also 2020, just saying for people who want to know. Who knows what the next OS will be from Microsoft. For sure they're stopping the Windows line. They've said that. So that's just that with that. Alright, before you actually download Windows 10, right, we'll talk about a few requirements, but before you actually do everything, right, with that, the most important thing is to actually back everything up. Just back your whole system up, all your disks, everything, because you know, if something goes wrong, right, and suddenly, I don't know, something crashes and you can't actually download Windows 10 for some reason because there's a bug or something, right, then the problem might be that you can't go back to Windows 7, right? But if you've got a backup, you can just simply load the backup. You're good to go. You can check what problems were there and just fix them quite quickly, quite easily, etc. Right? Furthermore, please do note that this is an updating system. Instead of, for example, like most people actually thought, is that you actually format your whole computer like you normally do when you install a new OS, right? You format your whole computer, you do it. No, it won't be like that. It'll be like a simple update, okay? So just simply update your Windows, right, to Windows 10. Normally, if you actually want to do a whole fresh start, do a full format, and then load Windows 10, you'll be able to do that. Don't worry, you'll get a code, and you'll be able to do that after you actually get into Windows 10. All right. There'll probably also be ways to do it before, but just saying, as a cautionary thing, is that if you've got it backed up, just try upgrading it to see if you can actually run it, especially on older systems, because you know, if you format your whole disk, even if you've got a backup, it's sometimes harder to actually put it back up. So that's just that. Alright, let's just see the Windows 10 requirements. First, from Windows 7, for example, if you're upgrading from Windows 7 SP1, and then from Windows 8.1, you've got the lists here. If you would like to read them, I'll read them out loud. So first of all, we've got the processor, right? So you need 1 GHz at least, or faster for 32 or 64-bit processors. RAM at least 1 GB for 32 and 2 GB for 64-bit. Free disk space, you need 16 GB for 32-bit and 20 GB for 64-bit. That is quite a lot, just saying personally. For example, I've got an SSD, 128 GB SSD, that I've only got for actually Windows. So if I put that on top and then install it, but after the installation you should be good to go. That's just a cautionary warning. Graphics card, you need to have DirectX 9 device with WDDM 1.0 driver or higher. Most of the people have it by now. Watch out for the older computers, okay? You might have a lower DirectX. Okay, just some additional requirements to use some additional features that you might want. Internet access, for example, right? If you want to go into the internet, check some stuff out on Google or whatever, you'll need an internet access. Most new games will actually require, for the additional features, of course, only DirectX 12. So you also have to have a compatible DirectX 12 card. Most of those are, for example, let's say the whole 900 from NVIDIA series, like the 960, 970, 980, 980 Ti, the Titan X as well. I don't know what about the AMDs, but you can easily just Google them quite quickly. So you have to have DirectX 12 compatible graphics card, and you have to have that to actually get some additional stuff in games. Thirdly, BitLocker, most of you probably don't know, but for those who do know, BitLocker requires a Trusted Platform Modular TPM 1.2 and requires a USB flash drive, okay? Music and sound require audio outputs, for example, you know, like headphones and stuff like that, that you can plug into an audio output, right? So most of the computers by now probably have that, just saying. Alright, so what about from 8.1? Especially if you've got a touchscreen, do watch out, because you will need to probably additionally install the touchpad configurations for the new system when you get Windows 10, just saying. Okay, so let's see. Processor 1 GHz or faster, 1 GB for 32, 2 GB for 64-bit, 16 GB for 32-bit, and 20 GB for 64-bit free space. Graphics card, same, DirectX 9 with WDDM driver. You will need a Microsoft account and an internet access. That is the only additional requirement for 8.1 users. But in general, when you actually set up a 8.1 account, you actually have to get a Microsoft account in most instances. So if you've got that, then you're all good to go. Okay. what about for new computers that are coming out after the 29th, or actually on the 29th, right? Especially the OM versions. That means that you can only install it on one system, you can't install it on many systems. So these are the requirements. If you're getting a new PC, you actually have to hit these requirements, and then you'll probably actually get Windows 10 OM version with your laptop PC or whatever on the 29th, and from the 29th further on, unless it's actually specified that it's got 8.1 or 7. So do watch out before buying that, so that you don't actually get the wrong Windows. That would be kind of bad. But anyways, resolution wise, 800 times 600 or higher. Firmware UEFI 2.3.1, secure boot enabled. Memory, you need 2 GB for 64 or 1 GB for 32-bit. Storage, you need around 16 to 20 depending on 32-bit or 64-bit. Graphics, you need DirectX 9, and with the tablet buttons you need a power and volume up and down. Those are the only requirements that you need to actually get an OM version, but please do actually check if it comes with the box or already pre-installed on the system before you actually buy the system. So that just a short warning. What about Macs? You can actually have Windows 10 on your Mac. After a little bit of testing, truth be told, on Macs, the OS Windows 10 actually works better than the OS 10 installed on Macs. So yeah, you won't have problems with that. Even on older computers, it does work. They do not specify the full requirements for the Mac, of course, because it's Microsoft. So I cannot tell you that. But I can tell you that at least 3 years, if you've got a Mac, then it should work. Because that's what worked on mine. Alright, what will be in Windows 10? Well, if you want, there's a short preview that you can actually download from Microsoft now for free. It's completely free. It's a preview version. You can check out the new features, the new stuff that's coming out. It's essentially, I'll tell you about a few features as I've written down here. So first of all, when you click the start menu, right, it's similar to this, except on the right you've got a tile menu as well. You can go, instead of going into all programs, you can go into all applications. That brings you up to a similar 8.1 version tile home base, okay, where you can see all your applications and everything like that. Further on, if you want to, for example, I can put one here and then one on the side, right? Instead of that, you can actually put in 4, so you can put one here, one here, one here, and one here, right? So you can have 4 different applications going at once. Also, if I may say so, after the new update to 8.1, it will be also in 10. You can see all your applications here in the taskbar here, downstairs. It used to sometimes, for example, if you are using, let's say, a semi-mobile application, right, it wouldn't show the application here. You'd have to go right-click, start Task Manager, and it will be here, for example, right? But we'll show all the applications here, as you can see. Furthermore, it's got DirectX 12 that essentially needs a little bit less power, and it'll give you a little bit better FPS boost in games, especially on the newer graphics cards. So I'm just waiting just to check that fully out. And as I've said before, the whole 900 series and the Titan X do support it from the NVIDIA. Please check out the AMD. You can Google it quite easily. Just check it out. The DirectX 12, what is it compatible with? What graphics card? later on. All right, if you're upgrading from, let's say, a version, what will you get, right? So for example, me, I've got Windows 7 Home Premium, right? What will I get in terms of Windows 10, right? I'll get Windows 10 Home. You can see all the editions here, so Windows 8 and Windows 7, okay? So let's say Windows 7 Starter, Windows 7 Home Basic, Windows 7 Home Premium, Windows 7, oh yeah, and those are the three that you'll get Windows 10 Home. It's only called Home for those three. That's it. With Windows 7 Professional and Windows 7 Ultimate, you will get Windows 10 Pro. It will have additional features, okay? From Windows 8, let's say the phone version 8.1, you'll get Windows 10 Mobile. From the regular 8.1 Windows Desktop, you'll get Windows 10 Home. And the 8.1 Pro and the 8.1 Pro for students, you'll get the Windows 10 Pro. And furthermore, you can check out the full Windows 10 localization languages. For example, let's say you're getting the Windows 10 copy in, for example, France. You can check there's French here, right? Say you're getting in Poland, you'll get Polish. Brazil, you get Portuguese, etc., etc. You've got the full list here. This is taken from Microsoft official website, so you've got all the languages here. If your language isn't here, don't worry, you can purchase it from Microsoft as an additional language interface packages. In most of the Windows 10 Pro versions, you'll be able to actually switch from language to language for free, but in the home versions you won't. You'll probably have to buy an additional version. So I hope you like this. This was just a short overview of what you actually need and all the requirements and what you should do actually before getting Windows 10. If you've got any questions, just leave a comment. Hopefully you liked it, so just like the video and subscribe to my channel if you guys want to see more. After, of course, Windows 10 will be out, I'll just showcase it and show for many gamers what can you expect out of the new DirectX 12 and a few new games that will only run on Windows 10. Hopefully you liked it, and see you guys.